Hello, everyone. We've all heard the battle cry of today's pro-abortion community. A woman's body, a woman's choice. Really, let's test that. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. They're yes or no questions. The first one, would you support a woman that is pregnant aborting her child as a form of punishment towards the father? Let's say that during the pregnancy he does something that hurts her, betrays her trust, and the woman decides, well, I'll just kill that baby. That'll show him. The next one, a woman is pregnant during one of the ultrasound appointments. She finds out that the baby is going to be a boy, but she wanted a girl. She has no sexist motives. She just wants a little girl. She wants to be able to put bows in her hair and buy dresses and do all the cutesy things. So she decides to abort the baby because it's a boy. Would you support her? The next one would be kind of tough. Also, a white woman has a black husband. They go to get in vitro fertilization, and they specifically request a black donor, so that way they can have a mixed baby. For whatever reason, they want to blend in, they don't want to have to answer questions. It's just their preference. But the woman finds out that during the process, the donor semen was mixed up and it's white person's semen. So she decides to abort that baby. Would you support her on that? And on a final example, a woman finds out that her baby is going to be born with some medical challenges. Nothing life-threatening, nothing super difficult to deal with. Let's say something like, I don't know the extent of cleft palates, but let's say cleft palate, something that can be corrected with, surgery or two. Child could go on to live a happy, content life like so many people do, but something like that. But the mother says, nope, I don't want a defective kid. I want my baby to be perfect. Would you support her right to abort that child because it's not? Let's say the baby is going to be born with simple as missing a pinky, one finger short. Would you support her aborting that child? I hope you said no in all of those situations. To abort a child based on race, sex, medical issues, or to use abortion as punishment is heinous. And I hope you would say, no, that's wrong. But if you support my body, my choice, logically you have to support that woman in making these women making these horrific decisions. Now, if your argument is that those life forms in the womb aren't life forms, if you say that's just a clump of cells, then you should not be morally outraged by their decisions. You shouldn't have any concern whatsoever. But if you feel as though a racist motive, a sexist motive, an ableist motive is offensive, well, then you must be thinking that life form, those cells in the womb, that clump of cells, that fetus, is more than just that. It must be a life form. That's why a woman's body, a woman's choice is so flawed. Because a woman should never be given the right to destroy another life form that's inside of her. Sure, she can amputate whatever she wants, cosmetically speaking, get tattoos, eat unhealthy. But let me offer this to you on that note. We look down on mothers to be that are pregnant for eating poorly. If you see some woman walking around with a huge belly, she's pregnant, looks like she's about to pop, she's got a whiskey glass in one hand and a joint in the other, or a cigarette, Most people will say, whoa, you're horrible. You're doing a horrible thing to that child. You're risking that child's health and welfare and well-being. But if you are a supporter of abortion, you can't look at that as life in the womb. And you have to side on the side of the woman and say, well, it's her body, her choice. She should be able to do whatever she wants. See, that's the problem when we use little cliches. We find an argument that seems to make sense. A woman's body, a woman's choice. And when we hang on to that, we find ourselves pigeonholed. And we find ourselves looking at other options that we've not even considered. Now, you may say, well, these are examples that would never happen, or they're not very likely to happen. Well, so is the rape and incest argument. It doesn't happen nearly as often as pro-abortion proponents would like to make it seem. They like to make it seem like that's the majority of pregnancies, but it's not. There is a way to endure the suffering of being raped or having an incestual relationship where you get pregnant. You can still put that child up for adoption and not create more evil. You know, one evil action should not bring about another evil action. The first evil action occurred. Stop the cycle right then and there and do the right thing. So, once again, real quick, would you support those mothers and those scenarios that I offered? If you don't, then you might want to rethink your opinion. But if you do, I'd like to offer that you really still need to reconsider your opinion, because, man, your morality is really lacking. That's why it's good to know God, to follow Jesus. He helps to give us a standard above and beyond our own, above and beyond society's. A standard that is consistent, that we can look to and know that every human being is being judged by that lone standard. Read God's word, go to church, trust in his word, accept Christ before it's too late. Do not live in this world by worldly standards. Try to live by God's. God bless. Thanks for watching.